This is basically their last best shot at it.
They've only got 14 seconds, Casey, as well on the shot clock. So the differential of just over 5. They look to Fotu with the slam! Oh my goodness! What a play from the player timeout! And Aaron Young calls time for the Tuatara. We're tied up at 79.
Too easy. What a call. Look at the nice screen action here. Just slips through it, and all of a sudden, Dan Fotu found himself wide open at the rim and then above the rim.
Wow.
Heck of a play. Great composure and poise.
Hello and welcome to Sal's Hoopheads. Great to have your company for another week. Believe it or not, a month down in the Sal's NBL season. Plenty of basketball here in Aotearoa. Plenty of basketball right around the world, and here to share their thoughts with us, as they do every week, the Gruesome Twosome. Welcome.
Thank you, Justin.
I resemble that remark.
How many NBA teams, seriously, are you going to rock this year on Hoopheads?
As many as it takes, Justin.
There's a few. There's a few. Well, who do you support? Tell everyone who
I'm
you
from New Zealand. We don't have an NBA team.
No, you're right. We don't.
So I find that a little fickle. Now, that's my team. You said that you're a Warriors fan. You can't. This is for Sean Marks.
There we go.
I went to Brooklyn. I went to a game at Barclays.
Nice.
And
unbelievable venue.
Unbelievable venue. A game night experience. Leaves Madison Square Garden and Crypto.com arena in the dust.
Hello.
Yeah. Absolutely. Love the history.
Your favourite NBA stadium, Case?
Stadium?
Yeah.
I was poor when I lived in the States. I couldn't go to NBA games.
Oh,
the only one I ever got to was the Madhouse on McDowell, which was the old Suns Arena.
Let's get to
Yeah, no, don't do that. Hey, speaking of strange stuff, we see plenty of strange stuff in basketball, don't we?
Yeah.
We see
little bit.
strange stuff in the cells.
We see comebacks.
NBL.
We see one-legged threes, Justin.
Well, have a look at this from round 4 in the cell. What is going on here?
Yeah.
Petey Pablo. North Carolina.
I need to explain that
Take your
reference to
shirt
me.
off.
I think they are. You can see the kid on the right. I think they're inspired, being Wellington kids, by the Yellow Fever and the Phoenix football team.
Love
when
it.
they get their shirts off as well.
What about this as well? Ethan Rusbach has a new, routine every time he steps up to the TAB. Have a look at this.
Got to get the read of the green.
Yeah, he loves the green because he's plant powered.
Nice, I like it.
No, Casey.
And we do not condone.
He's vegan.
No, don't say it.
He's vegan.
Yes, he is. He's vegan.
Casey, grow up. Sorry,
we
Justin.
do not condone everyone out supporting Cells NBL this week. Don't take your shirts off.
Yeah, I'm not. I was supposed to wear green this episode, Justin, because the Jets lost. I'm not.
Let us down. Speaking of results, round 4 results. Let's have a look at them. And it was a massive weekend of basketball. Nuggets get the Giants. Rams over the Sharks. And this is where things started to turn a little bit topsy-turvy. The Airs and the Jets, everyone thought the Jets were going to get that game. Saints at home against the Giants, new-look Saints, Hawks and the Sharks, and then, of course, what a game. Bulls and the Tuatara, you were both there to see it. Talk us through it.
I felt like, okay, it's 2021, it's 2022. This is how it's going for the Bulls. They're valiant, they try hard, the team pulls away and they get beaten at home, and they have a what could have been kind of situation. What happened? I was thinking about it. I couldn't even put down who took over for the Bulls. No one took over. They took over.
Yeah, it was a group effort. They lifted their intensity defensively, did a much better job on the offensive glass. And for me, the real key was once Ruben Tarangi went out with foul trouble and then out of the game with the 4th, 5th foul. The Tuatara just a little short on depth right now. You know, when they have to go to that 6th, 7th man. Just a bit of a struggle to really compete against teams that are playing as hard as the Bulls. And a little bit, it seemed like the Tuatara thought they had it.
Oh, absolutely. I think we said that in commentary as well. I think when you're up 24, I totally agree. You're going to feel like, we're cruising out. It's the third quarter. But also, 66 rebounds.
Yeah, amazing.
The Bulls had.
Amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah. Did Daniel Sokolovsky, coach of the Bulls, get away with one late with the player timeout?
It looked like he was calling some floppy action.
Absolutely, he got away with it.
You coach the team.
You can't coach the team, but if you can get away with it, you can coach the team.
Nuggets and Giants. Michael Harris turned up, came to play. We've heard great things about Michael Harris. Of course, he's with the Perth Wildcats. This was his best game of the season by far.
It was good to see that because his three-point shot is not falling, and that's what he's supposed to be, a three-point shooter. Every other facet of his game is not affected by that, and he's doing everything he can around it to get going, and he was impressive. 31.
31, but 5 steals, 4 or 5 steals. I don't know what it finished up at, but they forced over 20 turnovers against the Giants, who coming in were one of the better 2 or 3 teams in the league in terms of turnover percentage. So that's an impressive. Their defense, it's just a step above the rest of the competition right now.
It feels like when you turn the ball over like the Giants were doing in that game, it's like you're running downhill. You just can't help yourself. Your feet, you're turning, you're jumping in the air and trying to pass all the things you're not supposed to do. Felt like the Giants were doing. They're falling into the trap.
Gave up 27 points from 21 turnovers. And they shot well. The Giants actually shot really, really well. They just kept giving the ball.
Well, I think that's what the Tuatara did as well against the Bulls. They gave up a similar amount of points off turnovers.
Gonna hurt you.
Got to value that basketball. It's like gold. And also, no Timmons in that Nuggets game.
Yeah. No, absolutely. He was missing. He was a big out. Rams and Sharks, probably run of the mill from what we expected. But Ty Wynyard, geez, he's going to leave a gaping hole in that Rams unit.
He certainly is. There's no doubt Ty Wynyard is on to and going to bigger and better things. But he is going to be replaced from what I hear as like a really good high-level import or New Zealand player.
It's interesting. Who's he going to be?
But they have 2 imports on the bench. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, yes, he's a great, high-skilled defensive menace, really good down low. But if they can bring somebody in who can fill that role to some extent, if not better, they're still the champs in waiting in my eyes.
But they need a big. Max Darling's not going to cut it on the interior by himself. He's great as that 4-man, but if he's got to do the entirety on his own, it's going to be tough. The league's bigger and stronger this season, and that's a tough ask.
Yanni Wetzel a chance?
That's a great question. That is a great question.
If they get Yanni Wetzel, my goodness, his post-game is superb.
Well,
Love it.
Let's not forget Yanni Wetzel and Judd Flavel have spent time together in the
A little bit of time. And Judd's been calling on those connections, a.k.a. Ty Wynyard.
My word, he has. Airs and the Jets. Armon Fletcher, very, very good for the Airs. Javion Blake, really love what he's doing for the Jets. The Green Army expected to win here. How about the Airs at home? Very, very good.
They were not the Airs that you've come to know. They were so good. They were so fun to watch. It was like they were waiting for Anthony Hilliard to turn up, and they were playing the way that Anthony Hilliard is going to absolutely love. In the previous games, they hadn't quite got that. Teams had taken them out of what they wanted to do. The Jets were, I think, cruising as well. I think they just got on their own little hype machine a little bit. I think they felt like they were rolling, but they found a team that matched up pretty well with them and got it done. And Marcel Jones has shaken off that calf injury and gave him valuable vet minutes.
Good punch off the bench, didn't he? And unfortunately, I mean, the Jets not only let their fans down, but let us down on hoop heads. We were expecting...
Didn't let me down.
Full green we're expecting.
I do not want to see this man in head to toe green. That is not going to be a good collar combo.
I don't want to see you clean shaven like you were back in the day when you had that little thing under your lip.
Saints and Giants. I think we expected a Saints win given the changes to personnel that they had made during the week. It was a very, very good win.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of improvement still to come from that team. Mucius came in for his first game. Lee Arthur settling in, obviously, but Kyle Adnam.
The Saints were solid. Kyle Adnam was good, but to me, it's about the Giants. The Giants aren't playing Giants basketball right now. They're not matching the intensity of their opponents. They're not taking care of the basketball, and we don't see that commitment on the defensive end that we've seen previously.
They have such a proud history, but they're as far away from the Saints in terms of getting imports in and out as they'll ever be. So if they're stuck with this unit has to find answers for Mike Fitchett and the coaching staff.
Hawks need to get back on the road as quickly as they possibly can.
I think the Hawks need to have some luck. I think there's everything that can happen on a basketball court to the Hawke's Bay Hawks has happened so far through 4 rounds. Like they've found ways to win, they've found ways to lose, they've found calls not go their way. It's like they must be in some sort of like alternate universe, it feels like.
At some point, there's going to be a regression to the mean. You know, these close games at the end of regulation, they go either way. You know, it's sort of luck of the draw, luck of the roll, however you want to call it, who's going to win that game. But to lose this many in succession, in tight games, it's going to cause some soul searching. They're going to have to look down at their execution, their ability to play deep into the bench, a little deeper into the bench because they're playing their starters a lot of minutes. But at some point, you think luck's just going to come their way.
Let's not talk about the Hawks. Let's talk about the Sharks. Let's talk about
let's talk about Jeremy Kendall.
Unbelievable. 25 points in the last quarter. It's just an incredible performance. 4 assists as well. 6 of 6 from the TAB. 5 triples in that last quarter. I mean, Grant Anticevic had a great game, but he's not the story out of this. Jeremy Kendall is.
His one-legged Dirk three straight
great.
on was unreal. We had a huddle waiting for the Franklin Bulls game to start. We had a huddle around the PC, around Casey's laptop, and people were like, "Oh my God!" Like, it was such a great comeback. Who knew that we were about to see arguably an even better one from a more team-orientated one? But Jeremy Kendall, I think I said a few weeks ago, how the Sharks go, they're going to have to rely on Jeremy Kendall way more than they hope to. Anticevich, a lovely game, but my goodness, if he's going to do that.
Well, Anticevich got it to the fourth quarter because he did most of the damage. Kendall coming into the fourth, only that 5 points, and he absolutely took over. But if it wasn't for Anticevich, they couldn't have been even that as close as they were. But Jeremy Kendall, on top of the scoring, some of those frozen rope passes he was getting,
incredible.
The way he was facilitating, really impressive. He's been a great leader for them, and he's going to continue to have to be that because without him producing to this level, it's going to be tough for them.
He knows what to do. And that's the cool thing. He knows that they needed to score. So he did. He knows when they need to pass. He knows when they need to execute. He knows when they need to run. That's all you need in this league. And he got them over the line, obviously. But it's so good.
I've said this before, the partnership of Guy Malloy and the way he coaches and Jeremy Kendall and the way that he leads a team, it is a perfect, 100% spot on, perfect partnership, coach and court leader. And it's working.
So far, so good. Just need to continue that said. But that said, he is an older player. If he's going to have to produce like this night in, night out, especially on those doubleheaders, it's going to be difficult.
Fair call. Others do need to stand up, no doubt. Let's have a look at the ladder as it stands after round 4 in the Sal's NBL, and it is super, super tight. We've come to expect that.
6 teams that are 2-3 or 3-2. That's how evenly poised this is. It's so fun. Every round continues to amaze. I thought round 4, we'll settle down now. Technically, it's been a month. Teams will be used to the grind and the travel, and blowouts will happen. So yeah, sure, some blowouts every now and again may happen, but the way that they come about is shocking, and I love it. It's great.
Yeah, the three-point shot across the league has gotten teams a lot closer. You see the Saints only a half game out of that 8th spot, and obviously 9 teams right now I think are really in the mix for the 6th. The Giants, they have some work to do if they are able to do that work, but the parity is fantastic, and it's interesting that it's not just teams winning at home, it's teams winning on the road at times as well and getting it done in places other than just their home court.
Just quickly, Saints have a game in hand.
That's true.
That is also huge. Yeah. They have a game in hand.
They've played 4, everybody else has played 11.
Plus they have 18 home games, it looks like.
Very quickly on the ladder. Giants done, gone.
Oh, yep. I said last show that if they don't get a win in this round in the doubleheader, unfortunately, it's over for them. And I feel like it's too late now.
Well, you look at the ladder though, you can see that 5 and 6, 4, 5 and 6, even 3 right now. It's not that far above 500.
And then there's 4 points out.
It could end up at 500 that gets you in. We don't know.
10-8 last season got you in. 10-8.
10-8 last season, which means it could be 9-9 this year. It's only 1 game's difference. Do I think they're completely done? No. But do I realistically think it's going to happen? Probably not.
But they're going to have to win 10 games out of the 13.
Hard.
That's
really, really tough.
That's impossible this season.
Especially when they've lost 5 and they're losing by an average of 10.8 a game.
And they're only 2 wins out of that 6 right now. It's too much, I think.
And this has been the section called Mike Fitchett Text Me.
I don't have to call any Nelson Giant games in Nelson. It's fantastic.
Very, very quickly, we talk about home court and home court advantage. In the Sal's NBL, home court advantage no longer exists. In fact, you go back to last season, teams won more away from home than they did on their home court. We're starting to see it this season as well.
That's because of injuries and travel schedules, and that is what you want. You want parity. You don't want the injuries, of course, but you want it to be, it could be anybody. That's the cool thing about it. The Jets were supposed to win on the road. They didn't. Ayers took care of home court advantage. Tuatara looked amazing on the road until they didn't. It's just like anything's happening.
And I think all teams are fearless when they get in that road situation. Obviously, a lot of familiarity around this league with the local players, but the imports come in with a lot of confidence, playing at a high level, and nobody's afraid to go into Event Finder Stadium. Nobody's afraid, except with the exception of maybe Wellington, that has that great home court advantage. That hasn't worked their advantage this year. There just really is no fear across the league.
I can only go back 5 years. Mulgs, you can go back plenty. Case, you can probably go back even more. Certainly into your days as a fan, Mulgs, you can go back even longer than.
My dad used to call Saints games at Madrick Stadium, so I remember the opening years of the what was that back?
The Exchequer.
The Rhineck League.
The Rhineck League.
Yeah.
Well, I want to take nothing away from the 90s and the surge of basketball right around the world, but in terms of the Sal's NBL right now, is this as good as we've seen?
I mean, if you're asking me, I think the local talent is a little bit down because we don't have the top-end Tall Blacks. You know, we're talking about those top 14, 15 players down. Yes, the import talent is up. There's 3 of those. In terms of top end, the best teams from this era to other eras, I think they're pretty compare favorably.
Miles?
I think that when you had the days of Ronnie Joyner scoring 50-odd for Ponsonby and the like in Waikato, that kind of, it wasn't quite a New Zealand league. It was a place for imports to come and dominate, and they had role players around them. I think there's a lot more parity in the league now.
A lot more competitive balance.
Absolutely, and that's what's key for this league, and it's capturing people's eyeballs.
By far the most competitively balanced league that I've seen in my time around the league.
Well, it was a big week of global basketball with the announcement of the draw, the groups, of course, for the World Cup coming up mid-year this year. And it was a huge night, not only for all of the teams that are going to be playing, but certainly a big one for the Tall Blacks, because they are in one heck of a group, Group C.
I thought, I took offence to the fact that FIBA announced one of the other pools, and it might be the Australians, calling it the pool of death. No, we're the pool of death.
There's no pool of death.
We're the pool of death.
100%.
Because Greece, we're going to sneak up on Greece, and we're going to beat Greece, and we're going to make it through. We're going to beat Jordan. We'll give the US a good run through 2 quarters.
Only group with 2 top 10 nations in the group. USA obviously at 2, believe it or not, and Greece at 9.
And this is the new format, of course, where there's 4 teams in each pool, and only the top 2 cross over out of that. If previously, when I was playing back in the day, it was 16 groups and 4 teams got through. Not the way anymore. It's a tough ask, man. Obviously, the U.S. team's going to be stacked. We don't know who's going to be on it.
It doesn't matter.
Getting them first, though, the US, is that a good thing?
I think it's a good thing, because then it prepares you for what Greece will get you.
Right.
But look, last time I was on the Tall Blacks team that we played a U.S. team, we walked into the scouting report and Nenad Vucinic said, "You guys know more than I do. Tell me about them." Okay, so that was a game we threw away. Not in the fact that we played hard. We did beat them in the third quarter. Only team in the World Cup to do that in the third quarter. But it's going to be a tough ask either way. That's a game you probably wash out. You don't worry about it, and you go into the other 2 saying, "Hey, we've got to get these 2."
Lebanon are no pushovers either.
Jordan.
Jordan won't be. But for what will be interesting is to see, A, if Giannis actually turns up, given what happened in the playoffs, or B, he turns up and he's super motivated given what's happened in the playoffs. And of course, Greece is very deep.
Yeah.
They've got Antetokounmpo's falling out of trees over there. It's like there's everywhere. Like they just have so much depth in Greek basketball. We know that. But I think they would target the US game and look at us and Jordan and go, oh well, we'll take care of them easy.
Tall Blacks through the group stage, yes or no?
Yes.
Always. I'm always going to say yes. What are we going to there for a holiday?
We'll have
Dubs, baby.
We'll have a bit further look at the squad in the weeks coming up, because that's going to move around a little bit, I think, depending on injuries, maybe retirements. I mean, who knows?
And my pick as well with New Zealand, it doesn't matter if Stephen turns up or not. I'd love for him to play Stephen Adams, and this knee injury looks like he won't, because he may need surgery, and they're looking like a really long timeline for this knee injury, which is concerning. But it's just that from what he knows to do as a Tall Black, to turn it on, they can turn it on, the Tall Blacks.
Yeah.
No matter who's in
forward to it. Group C, it is the group of death, no doubt about that. Round 5, Sal's NBL action. Another huge slate of games coming our way, and it all starts on Thursday night with the Tuatara at home to the Nuggets. Let's have a look at it. Rams and the Saints on Friday night. The Saints on the double. Giants and the Airs. If there's a must-win game ever for the Giants this season, that is the game. Let's cross it over. Saturday night, the Bulls and the Nuggets. That'll be a big one. Jets and the Hawks on Sunday. And from memory, I think the Jets might have got the Hawks last season or the season before in Palmy North. So the Hawks certainly not a walk in the park given their current form. Sharks and the Saints is our Sunday sesh game. Let's pick it apart. Casey, you like the Bulls and the Nuggets?
I think that's going to be a really good defensive battle, as opposed to what we've seen a lot of this year, a lot of high-scoring games. But this is going to be a slugfest. I don't believe Tyrell Harrison's going to be returned
What's the
yet.
Injury?
It's with the wrist. I don't know if it's been publicized yet, so I don't want to speak out of turn, but I do expect him to be out a little bit longer.
Right.
It's going to be a bit of a longer injury for him. So if they don't have them, as I expect, it's going to be difficult to slow down those bigs. But we've seen last week that the Bulls can play above themselves defensively, even when they're down a man.
Yeah, because Sokolovsky challenged them in front of their fans, and that worked. but they can't get in a hole like that again against the very disciplined unit that the Nuggets have. Not saying that the Tuatara aren't, but Brent Matahari, they are dialed in defensively. They've got great role players.
And I think Sam Timmins will come back in. Michael Harris in some form. Obviously, Todd Withers doing Todd Withers.
What do you think
things.
about that Todd Withers player?
He's a very good player. Very, very good player.
Both ends?
I did see that go out. I did pick that up. Jets and the Hawks, Miles, you like this game? Well, you like the Jets. We know that.
I love the Jets. I love what they're doing, but I also love the way the Hawks play. And this is a 6-7 game. So they've got that chasing pack. These two teams need to put a buffer between the Airs, the Saints and the Giants. Not so much the Giants, unfortunately, but the Saints especially, who have a game in hand and are coming for everybody in that top 6. So must-win game for those two teams.
And I think Ira Lee is going to be available for the Hawks.
This week.
I think that's what everything's pointing to. If they have him, it really changes them. We saw in that game last week against the Sharks that they were vulnerable on the glass. They couldn't get the defensive rebounds when they need him. He will change that, and they need him against Danny Pippen and his rebounding ability.
No sitting on the fence. In a word for each game, Tuatara, Nuggets.
Tuatara.
I'm gonna go Nuggets.
Rams, Saints.
Rams.
Saints, baby.
Here we go. Giants, Airs.
Giants.
Giants.
Yep.
The team you've written off will not make the final 6. The Airs off a great win at home against the Jets.
On
You've
the
just
road
flipped
in
this
Nelson.
On its head. You're going Giants.
Yep.
Do we know about Hilliard yet? Anybody?
I think he's still in Uruguay.
Can we check? Has Mike Fitchett sent you messages while we've been on here? What is going on?
He sent me 8,
That
and
is
this is a
That is
pre-record.
the biggest turn.
Is he dialed into this recording?
I think he is. Bulls and Nuggets. This is big. I like this game.
I'm gonna go with the Bulls.
I'm going to go the Bulls as well.
So you're going Nuggets to lose both?
I went Nuggets to win the first one.
You're going
I went,
Nuggets to lose
I
both?
went, yeah.
Okay, haven't lost a game for the season. Jets and Hawks. We know where your heart is, Case.
I think I'm gonna go with the Hawks if Ira Lee is available.
I think I'm going the Hawks as well.
Off the Jets now.
Yeah.
Done.
Well, you can still love them.
Yeah, I can
But
still
truth
love
is
them.
truth.
Yeah.
Sharks and Saints.
Oh, Saints.
Saints. I've got the Saints there.
Yeah.
Ryan Malloy, a
Saints.
little bit of feeling there.
Oh, yeah.
You think?
Yeah. Is he suiting up?
Has he mentioned anything about how last year went?
Hello.
Any interviews anywhere? I don't know. I haven't read. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe.
What a spicy round.
Here we go. Yes or no?
Okay.
Again, don't sit on the fence. One word answer. Are you hearing?
Don't do one-word answers, Justin.
I know, but we'll get there eventually. We've got a long season ahead of us. Are you hearing Ty Webster will play for the Nuggets this season? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Are the Hawks, Bay Hawks, underperforming?
No.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
Did the Jets get ahead of themselves last week?
No.
No.
Fair enough. Will the Tall Blacks get out of Group C? We've already spoken about that one. Will the Saints beat both the Rams and the Sharks this week?
No.
No.
Do you stand
But you
by...
picked them to win both games.
No,
I think you did, actually. Jeez. 3 minutes on TV is a long time for you, clearly. Do you stand by your pre-season championship predictions? Mulled, you tipped the Bulls to win it all. Do you stand by it? Yes or no?
Well, Tyrell Harrison
yes or no?
didn't have a wrist injury.
Yes or no?
Yes, I stand by it.
You tipped the Hawks to win it all.
Stand by it.
100%.
What am I going to...
Fair enough.
What do you want? A one-word answer or
it's
not?
okay.
You're asking for explicit.
No,
you want
that's
more?
okay. Done. We're out of here. Another week down.
Did I really say the Saints were going to lose? Oh, did I? I apologise to the Saints. I hope everyone wins.
They said they were going to win both.
I hope everyone
They said
wins.
they're gonna lose.
I hope everyone gets a win.
Absolute mayhem, as it always is on Sal's Hoopheads. Hope you've enjoyed it for another week. Get out there and support your teams. Massive round coming up. Round 5, 6 games on the slate. And if it's anything like last week, it is going to be electrifying stuff. We'll see you next week on Sal's Hoopheads.